Welcome, and thank you for considering our rental property for your next home. In this video, we'll guide you through our streamlined application process, inspections, and taking possession procedures to ensure a smooth experience from start to finish. Whether you're new to renting or a seasoned tenant, we're here to make the process clear and straightforward. First and foremost, Richland Real Estate Services always follows fair housing guidelines, as well as state and local ordinances. Let's get started. The first part of the process is the credit check. Second is the criminal background check, followed by the employment verifications, and finally, the landlord or mortgage payment verification. At Richland Real Estate Services, we're committed to ensuring a fair and transparent application process for all our rental properties. We strictly follow all fair housing guidelines and never discriminate based upon race, color, national origin, religion, sex, familial status, or disability. Every applicant aged 18 or older must complete a full application. Applications must be completed accurately. Any misinformation will result in rejection. We conduct credit reports for each applicant. Undischarged bankruptcies are not accepted. Criminal background checks. We conduct criminal background checks on all applicants. Our leasing agent will submit verifications to the HR department or manager. Please ensure you have entered the correct email address for your employment contact. General income requirement. All applicants' combined monthly income must meet or exceed 3 times the monthly rental rate. If you do not make the minimum income requirement, you may elect to add a cosigner or pay 12 months of rent up front. Self-employed applicants. Self-employed applicants must supply tax returns for the current or previous year. We cannot accept tax returns if the previous year has not been filed. The tax returns must reflect a net income of 3 times the monthly rental rate. If no tax returns are available, the applicant may pay 12 months of rent up front or elect to have a cosigner. If these options are not available, the application will be declined. New job applicants. If an applicant is starting a new job, the current offer letter on company letterhead must be submitted. The salary must be included in the offer letter. Cosigner qualifications. Cosigners may be considered if an applicant does not meet the minimum income requirements or lacks rental mortgage payment history. Cosigners must fall within the guidelines of the rent or mortgage payment history sections. Cosigners must make a minimum of 5 times the monthly rental rate. Each resident or cosigner is jointly and severally responsible for any part of the security deposit until the dwelling is vacated by all leaseholders. Richland Real Estate Services, LLC, will not refund any part of the security deposit until the dwelling is vacated by all leaseholders. Cosigners must meet all other qualification standards as listed. Corporate lease requirements. If the applicant residing at the property won't be financially responsible for rental payments, the company will submit their corporate tax returns for the past 2 years. The net income listed on the corporate tax returns must meet or exceed 5 times the monthly rental rate. All applicants residing at the property must submit separate applications. Applicants understand that a credit and criminal background check will be completed and must have no active bankruptcies. Both residents and the business paying for rent share financial responsibility for any damages. The appropriate officer of the company must submit a letter with company letterhead for lease signing. Pet policies and service animals. Allowing pets is at the owner's discretion and subject to local regulations. The following breeds, or breeds mixed with them, are not allowed: Pit Bull, Staffordshire Terrier, Rottweiler, Doberman, Chow, Akita, Oregon German Shepherd. If a pet's breed is listed as mixed or unknown, the applicant must submit veterinary records with the breed specified. Maximum of 2 pets per household. Non-refundable pet fee, $300 per pet. Pet fees are due at the lease start date. Additional pet agreement required. All properties with pets must be professionally treated for fleas upon vacating, with proof of receipt or invoice at move-out inspection. Service animals. Service animals are not considered pets. If you have a service animal, please provide appropriate documentation and no additional pet fees will apply. Security deposit submission. Once the applications are approved, the applicant is required to submit the security deposit within 24 hours. The security deposit must be in the form of a cashier's check or money order. If the applicant fails to submit the security deposit, the property will be made available to the next applicant. The security deposit is non-refundable until after the lease has expired. If the applicant decides not to move in after the 24-hour submission time, the security deposit will not be refunded. Utilities and renters insurance. We will supply you with a welcome letter, which will contain the utility company's, renters, insurance, and amounts due. You are required to submit the proof of utilities and renters insurance to Richland Real Estate Services prior to the lease start date. Access to the property will not occur until the proof of utilities and renters insurance is provided. Move-in inspection and taking possession. Most landlords meet with you at the property to conduct the move-in inspection. We do it a little differently. We will conduct the move-in inspection prior to the lease start date. We will provide you with a copy of your move-in inspection, and you will have 48 hours after the lease start date to add any notations to the move-in inspection. We require the move-in inspection to be signed by you prior to the lease start date. This will be spelled out in the move-in inspection addendum as part of your lease agreement. We find that it is easier for our residents to have 48 hours to complete this inspection instead of a short amount of time meeting with the inspector for an hour or two. Once we have the proof of utilities, renters insurance, signed lease, move-in inspection addendum, and pet agreement, if applicable, you will be sent a link to your resident portal. In the portal, you will be able to submit your rental payments, pet fee payment, if applicable, as well as submit any maintenance requests. When we have received all signed paperwork and funds, you will be sent a code to access the lockbox where you will find your keys. Thanks again for choosing Richland Real Estate Services.